Good morning, my children, and welcome back to your English class, the class of the teacher Jacob. For today, my children, we're going to have a review of all the geometric shapes that we have been working since we start with this topic. But before we commence with this activity, let's have a review of names of the fingers. Remember, for each one of our hands, all of them contain 5 fingers and each one has their own name. Recuerden, chicos, que nuestras dos manitas, dentro de ellas tenemos 5 deditos y cada uno de ellos tiene su propio nombre. Vamos a hacer un repaso de su nombre para después concentrarnos en la actividad del día de hoy. We start with the left hand. For the left hand, we commence with the thumb. Remember, the thumb is the chubbiest finger of all. Recuerden que de los 5 deditos, thumb, el pulgar, es el que está más llenito. We have thumb. Then we continue with index finger. Now remember, for index finger, we use it to point an object. Then we continue with middle finger. A characteristic about this middle finger is that of all of them, this is the tallest. De todos los deditos que tenemos en nuestra manita, el del medio es el más alto. Then we continue with the ring finger. Now don't forget that it's called ring finger because inside of it we put accessories like, of course, a ring. Recuerden que este es donde colocamos nuestros accesorios, incluyendo los anillos. And finally, we have little finger. And in the case of this, of all of them, this is the shortest. Okay, es el más pequeñito, and that's why it's called little finger, dedo pequeñito. Now let's practice with our right hand. We commence once again with the thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Excellent. And of course, we say like or don't like using our thumb. Now for today, as I mentioned it, we're going to make an activity to review all the geometric shapes. Circles, rectangles, squares, ovals, and rhombus. Now the activity of today is part of your textbook. So if you want to work along with the teacher Jacob, you already know the instructions. You have 5 seconds to pick up your book and your pencil case so we can start working. Para la actividad del día de hoy, chicos, si ustedes quieren trabajar junto con el teachercito Jacob, ya saben las instrucciones. Tienen 5 segundos para ir por su estuchera y su textbook. Empieza a contar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's commence. Now, the activity is right here on page 147. 147. Now, as you can see here, we have a garden or a playground. Como podemos observar en esta página, como en el pizarrón, tenemos la ilustración de un jardín de juegos. In this playground, we have a slide, we have a bench, and we have a swing. Now, swing, un columpio. We have other type of toys, including a kite, including a beautiful sun, a tree that is all covered with apples, and finally a balloon. Now, all of these objects have something in common. All of them use a geometric shape. So, with a color, with a crayon, or with a pencil, we are going to mark with an X only the objects that have a geometric shape, as I mentioned it, a circle, a square, rhombus, oval, or rectangle. Utilizando un color, una crayola o un lápiz, vamos a marcar con un tache únicamente los objetos que tengan forma de una figura geométrica, como la que nosotros hemos estado practicando. Recuerden, cuadrados, círculos, rectángulos, triángulos, óvalos, rombos, todas esas figuras aparecen dentro de este jardín de juegos. Vamos a tachar los objetos que tengan esta forma. The color, it doesn't matter. You can, as I mentioned, you can use even your own pencil. El color no importa, como les comenté a ustedes, si quieren, pueden marcar el tache con el lápiz. So, let's begin with this part. With this part of the illustration, we have a beautiful balloon. Now, balloon, does it have or does it resemble a geometric shape? ¿Tendrá forma de figura geométrica este globo? Yes, of course. If you remember, we have an oval, like an egg. So, we mark it with an X. On top of the balloon, we have a beautiful sun. Now remember, the sun is an object that appears up there in the sky and it lights the whole world. Now the sun, does it have or does it resemble a geometric shape? ¿Tendrá forma de figura geométrica? Yes, okay, it's a circle. So, once again, we mark it with an X. We continue with the tree that is all full of apples. For the tree, does it resemble a geometric shape? Including the apples that appear inside of it. Yes, once again, including the apples that are inside of the tree, all of them are circles. So, we mark them with an X. And if you want, you can mark all of the apples because all of them resemble circles. Let's continue under the tree and we have a bench. Now remember, the bench is an object that we use to sit down. It's like a chair, but larger. Now, for the bench, does it look like a geometric shape? ¿Tendrá forma de figura geométrica una banca? Yes, of course. If you remember, it looks like a rectangle. Remember, other examples of rectangles are a pillow, una almohada, and Lego blocks. Esos son otros ejemplos de rectángulos. So the bench, we mark it with an X. Next to the bench, we have a slide. Now remember, slide is in Spanish una resbaladilla. Under the slide, we have a ball, so we can play probably football or basketball. Now this ball right here, does it resemble a geometric shape? ¿Tendrá forma de una figura geométrica? Yes, of course. It's of course a circle. So we mark it with an X and we continue on the right side of the illustration. On top of it, en la parte de arriba, we have a beautiful kite that, remember, belongs to the family of toys and is made of paper with a string so we can hold it. Now, kite, does it look like a geometric shape that you remember? Yes, it does. It looks like a rhombus. Okay? Remember, another object like rhombus is the diamond, the one that is attached to the ring. So, the kite, of course, we mark it with an X. Now, under the beautiful kite, we have the swing, el columpio. Now, the swing, does it have or does it contain geometric shapes? Yes, we have two small circles that holds the bar of the swing, tenemos dos círculos que unen lo que es las barras para sujetar el columpio. So those small circles, we mark them with X's. And the seats of the swings, los asientos del columpio, have a rectangular form. So once again, we mark them with an X. And that's it. We have finished with the activity of today. Now, this type of exercises, my children, you can practice them at your own house. For example, if you enter to your kitchen, you can see accessories that have geometric shapes, so you can locate them and see which one resembles it. Este tipo de ejercicios, chicos, recuerden que ustedes también los pueden aplicar en su casa. Ustedes al entrar, por ejemplo, a la cocina, pueden ver todo lo que les rodea y localizar qué objetos tienen una forma de figura geométrica. For example, inside the kitchen, we have the refrigerator. Now, refrigerators look like a rectangle, okay? Now, the stove, where the mother cooks for us, looks like a square, okay? Cuando nosotros entramos en la cocina, por ejemplo, podemos ver que un refrigerador está en forma vertical, pero es un rectángulo. Cuando vamos y vemos la estufa, podemos darnos cuenta que esta tiene forma de un cuadrado. Así es que ustedes en cualquier momento pueden voltear a su alrededor y encontrar alguna figura geométrica. Okay? So, it would be excellent if you practice it. So, that's it for today, my children. Teacher Jacob is very happy to see my beautiful students of Kinder 1. We continue tomorrow with more activities, more exercises, and of course, more geometric shapes. Have an excellent afternoon. Take care. Goodbye.